I shouldn't have opened the door. But when you hear your dead wife's voice calling from the other side at 3 a.m., what would you do?
Sarah, is that really you?
Let me in, baby. It's so cold out here.
Her voice was wrong. Too wet. Like she was talking through a mouthful of something thick.
You died? I buried you.
You thought you buried me, but I've been waiting for you to let me back in.
The doorknob twisted on its own, slowly, like something was testing it.
Now, this isn't real.
Open the door, sweetheart, or I'll open it for you.
And then knocking. Not from the front door, from inside the house.
What the hell's that?
Oh, that's just me. I'm already inside.
The lights flickered, the air smelled like wet earth, and then a child's voice. His daughter, who had been asleep upstairs.
Stay in your room. Don't come down.
But Daddy, she's here. She's holding my hand.
The knocking got louder, from every door, every wall.
Too late, baby. We're all home now.
And then silence, the kind that comes right before the screaming starts.
No.
Daddy, why does Mommy look like that?
His daughter's voice was trembling. And then a giggle, but not hers.
Because I missed you both so much.
The bedroom door at the top of the stairs creaked open. A shadow stretched down the hallway. Too long, too many limbs.
Same way from her?
Or what? You'll bury me again.
The air turned thick, like breathing through mud. The walls pulsed, and then
Daddy, she's inside me now.
his daughter's voice wasn't hers anymore. It was layered, two voices speaking as one.
What did you do to her?
What you should have done. Stayed with me. Forever.
The lights blew out, the house groaned, and in the dark, something crawled toward him.
We're all here now, Daddy, just like she wanted.
The last thing he felt? Cold fingers wrapping around his ankles, pulling him into the dark.
Open your eyes, baby.
He wasn't in his house anymore. The air smelled like funeral flowers, and the ground beneath him, soft, too soft.
Where am I?
We're home.
His daughter's voice came from everywhere at once. But when he looked down, his hands were pale, like they'd been buried for weeks.
You left me alone down here, but not anymore.
Dirt rained from above. A shovel scraped against wood. And then,
Hey, you hear that? Sounds like something's moving in there.
a stranger's voice. From outside the coffin?
Shh. Let them dig.
The first crack of sunlight burned his skin, but the hands that reached for him, they weren't human.
Holy shit, what is that?
Daddy's coming home.
The screaming started, and this time, it wasn't his.
No. Let me go.
You already did.
The ground gave way beneath him, and suddenly he was falling. Not down, sideways, like the earth had turned inside out.
Almost there, Daddy.
He landed in a room. Their living room. But the walls pulsed like a heartbeat. The TV played static. Except, in the reflection, he saw them standing behind him.
This isn't real?
Real enough to hurt.
The front door creaked open. Cold wind rushed in, carrying the smell of turned earth. And standing in the doorway,
Help me.
a stranger from the graveyard. His eyes were gone, his mouth stretched too wide.
You brought him home too?
The door slammed shut. The lights died. And in the dark, something whispered directly into his ear.
Now we wait for the next one.
Sarah?
No answer. The TV static faded to black. His own reflection stared back. Pale, sunken, changed.
Daddy's home.
The front door unlocked itself with a click. Outside, the street was empty. Waiting. Somewhere a dog barked once. I wasn't supposed to open the door. The note said so. Big, bold letters. Do not open the door. But here's the thing. It wasn't my handwriting.
Who the hell left this?
The door creaked. Just a little. Like something was pressing against it from the other side.
Hello?
Silence. Then, a whisper.
Let me in.
What the Who's there?
You opened the door. Now I am inside.
My blood froze. The voice wasn't coming from the hallway. It was right behind me.
No. No.
Too late.
The lights flickered. The air turned thick, like breathing through syrup.
Dude, you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost.
There's something in my house.
What?
The phone crackled.
They're all in your house now.
Who was that?
I don't know, but it's not just her anymore.
The walls started bleeding. Not blood. Something darker. Something that moved.
We've been waiting for you.
Who are you?
You know us. You've always known us.
The floorboards groaned. Something was crawling underneath.
We need to get out of here.
Too late, the doors are gone.
The windows shattered, not from the outside, from within.
You shouldn't have opened the door.
And then the screaming started.
What the hell is that?
I don't know, but it's getting closer.
The air smelled like rotting meat and wet earth. The walls pulsed, like they were breathing.
You brought them here. You let them in.
I didn't mean to.
Doesn't matter. They're hungry.
Shadows pooled in the corners of the room, darker than black. They slithered toward us, slow and deliberate.
We need to move. Now.
Where? There's no way out.
The ceiling cracked. Dust rained down. Then, a hand. Long fingers, bone white, curling through the gap.
They're in the walls.
Who's in the walls?
The ones who were here before. The ones who built this place.
The floor buckled. Something was pushing up from below.
Oh, God.
A face emerged from the floorboards. No eyes, just a mouth, stretching too wide, filled with teeth like broken glass.
They remember you.
I've never been here before.
Not you. The one before you. The one who screamed.
The lights went out.
You?
Silence. There.
We're all here now.
And then the whispering started. Hundreds of voices, all saying the same thing.
You shouldn't have opened the door.
Make it stop. Make it stop.
My hands flew to my ears, but the voices only got louder.
Too late for that. You're part of the house now.
What does that even mean?
The walls peeled back like skin, revealing pulsing red muscle underneath. The floorboards split open, not into darkness, but into something worse.
Look down.
Oh God, no.
The basement wasn't a basement anymore. It was a throat, a giant, wet throat, leading down into pitch blackness. And it was breathing.
That's impossible.
So was opening the door. But you did that anyway.
The first hand grabbed Mailtu's ankle. Not a shadow. Not an illusion. A real, rotting hand with yellow nails.
Get it off me.
More hands erupted from the throat basement. Dozens of them. All reaching. All hungry.
They want to show you what happened to the last one.
Last one? What last?
The hands yanked Mailtu forward. His scream cut off as the throat swallowed him whole.
Now it's your turn.
The front door reappeared. But it wasn't an escape. It was smiling.
Come inside.
The hands dragged me toward the throw basement. Mailtu's screams echoed up from the darkness. But they weren't human anymore. They were changing.
Everyone becomes part of the house eventually.
My fingers clawed at the floorboards, but the wood had turned to flesh, warm, beating. The house was alive, and it was hungry.
Please.
The throat opened wider. The last thing I heard, before the darkness swallowed me whole, was the front door whispering.